Hey guys, how's everyone doing? As promised, I am live. First of all, before we begin this, I want to thank each and every one of you for sending me your suggestions and such beautiful messages as well. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, means a ton. I wanted to share with you all the process that I am following and that I have taught, okay, many of my students. I literally taught this process. I back then, 3 years, no, 2 years ago, I used to conduct workshops on how to handle the VUCA world. And the U in VUCA stands for uncertainty. And I had a process built, like we had formulated a process and we used to do workshops teaching that process to people. Got my notes ready, okay, and I really didn't know that I would be using this process on me. Like, wow, wow, wow. It's a full circle for me, literally. So, how do you handle uncertainties? Because I had this process in place, I just could come out of the shock, as many of you know. I don't know. So, if some of you, hi, so good to have so many of you here. I might not be able to take or take your questions or speak with you today on this live because this is more of like a workshop, if you will. तो वो फिर ना ब्रेक हो जाएगा, the chain of thought will break, okay? So I might say hi maybe later on in the live, so guys don't mind it, okay? But then do come with your paper and your pen or something to write with and something to write on, because I have my notes all ready for all of you here and I wanted to share this process with you. So because like I said, I had this process in place, I was able to come out of things within 10 days. So today is 22nd and the thing happened on 11. So for those of you, so I got many DMs also, okay, exactly what happened. So exactly what happened was that one of the posts went viral and the app said that, oh, they've detected an unusual activity, and then they restricted my access to my own account. So that's where we are at. The post on 9th of January went viral. Within like 24 hours, we had some 15K impressions and some 400 plus reactions. So that's like that was my first viral post. Chalo, that's a thing of a past now. So let's discuss. Hi. Yeah. That's why I thought, I'll share it, because many people reached out personally via DM and I did reply to some, but of course I can't reply to all. So I was like, okay, I will. The processes and systems are very important. And if you know me, I am a creature of systems and processes. Yes. Yeah, I know. And I know that's why you guys like being here. I mean, that's the pride, that I take in my content, that my content helps people maneuver freely or easily in their lives. Okay, so we're getting to the workshop part of the live now. Okay, so this workshop, I've broken it into 2 parts. Ye lamba hoga. I don't know how long, but it's going to be long. So if you can't watch like the live in totality, because at different stages you all join in, so watch it later on. Okay, so this workshop is divided into 2 parts. The first part is the different phases that one goes through when one is hit with a shock or when one is hit with some sort of an uncertainty. So there are stages and I'm going to explain those stages to you, okay? And you can't skip a stage. You have to go through the 3 stages the way they are. And in the second part of the workshop, I'm going to teach you how to help yourself now formulate a plan, a strategy for yourself. Okay, एक और जो मेरे दिमाग में चीज़ चल रही है, which I'm like sincerely and seriously thinking about is making a workbook for you guys in stages ka, because this is going to be a live. I don't know how many of you will actually be able to watch it in totality, like I said, but how many of you will actually also remember. But if you have a workbook in a PDF format that I can give you all, so you can just like literally download it and use it in your lives. And once you've just like you have that PDF in the soft format up, you can keep on taking the printouts and use it for different stages of your life or different aspects of your life once you have that workbook with you. तो मेरे दिमाग में एक वो भी concept चल रहा है that I should do that for my audience. So I will do that. I'm thinking on those lines. So let's get down to the first phase of the so the actual part of the live starts now. Are we all ready? Yes, guys, send me your thumbs up. I'm like waiting for them. Are we all like ready for it? Yeah. Yay. Okay, chalo, let's begin. Yeah. How has it been so far? I'm going to discuss it. Okay, let me see a few more questions. Uncertainties are a rule of... Yes, absolutely. And you know what? We're not actually taught how to deal with them. Which is like bizarre to me. We should be, Come to think of it. Okay, chal. Okay. So the 3 stages that one goes through when one is hit with uncertainty. So I'm going to take my example, and this is such a fresh example that I can speak so passionately about now. And I can literally break things down, and you will be able to understand it so much better because you all have also seen what has happened. Okay. So the very first thing when an uncertainty just happens, like you wake up in the morning and you like hit with that thing. Okay, so the very first thing that happens is shock, right? Agree? It is universal. It is universal. When there's an impact, there's a shock. So you're not ready for the new way of life. You're not ready with the new reality that just hit you. So because the new reality has hit you, there's an impact. You were in some reality, but then the new realities just happened in a matter of seconds for you. So you hit, there's an impact. And when there's an impact, there's a shock. Universal law of physics, okay? So now what happens that when somebody has this shock, like I had the shock, okay? And anybody who's hit with an uncertainty will have the shock. I'm going to look down because I don't want to, miss out any stages. So the first stage is shock, and what you need to do, and what you don't need to actually do it. It happens in auto. You try to absorb the shock, okay? And the very first system of your being that gets into absorbing the shock is your emotional system, okay? Is your emotional system. And go through that phase. Everybody, go through that phase. Don't try to talk yourself out of that phase. Because if you will not absorb the shock and release it, it will get stored in your body as trauma someplace, okay? So people who are into trauma healing, I don't know a lot about it, but I know something about it because I love to read such things because they align with my work. So I'm reading a lot about trauma healing and all, but I'm not an expert. I am not an expert, but I know that when you absorb a shock and you don't release it, it gets stored in your body as trauma in some parts of your body. Most people take trauma, they say in their liver, they store it in their liver, they store it in their digestive systems. Like this energy, it just gets, say, condensed because you've not released it. And most people store it in their heart. So, that's why it leads to a lot of, so people who are into Qigong or Reiki or things like that, they know how to release these traumas. So my point to you is that when you hit with the shock, so we've actually stored a lot of traumas in our body because we didn't know about such stuff. But now that I'm telling you, when you hit with the shock, it affects your emotional system. Release it. You've got to cry cry your eyeballs out. You've got to shout, like not on anyone, like go out in an open space and like shout. Release it. Okay, release it. Release that sudden emotional charge, so to speak. Okay, you have to. So the first stage, you hit with the shock. It affects your emotional system. You have to feel it and you have to release it, because there are a whirlpool of emotions. Okay, it's like, oh my God, not just one whirlpool. It's like it's like a downward spiral. So many. So एक emotion of guilt, एक emotion of failure, one emotion of self-esteem, one emotion of, so many emotions, so many whirlpools. Okay, and they're all, obviously whirlpools are downward spirals, if you see. So these are all downward spirals. Okay, go through them, release them. Okay, so that's the first stage, when you're hit with an uncertainty. It can be with respect to your careers, it can be with respect to your life. Now these concepts, by the way, they're life concepts. Okay, and they can be applied anywhere. Okay, let's come to the second stage. Okay, now that you the first stage of emotional system has been dealt with, now comes that now you need to deal with your nervous system. Okay, the second stage is heal your nervous system. Like I said, in the emotional system, what has happened is so many we can say those hidden elements of your thought process, they came to surface and they're like all lingering around. So now when you want to heal your nervous system, you have to get down to asking questions. Okay, इस पे मैं जो second half है हमारा लाइफ का, वो मैं पूरा डेडिकेट करने वाली हूँ. दैट नाउ यू एक्चुअली हैव टू गेट डाउन टू taking stock of the situation. First phase में don't do anything, release the emotions. Second stage, take stock of the situation. Get down to asking questions. Okay, get thinking. Okay, basically the idea is get thinking. Okay, get into your nervous system. Get thinking. See the subconscious thoughts that are coming. Start dealing with your thoughts. So this happens in the second stage. Okay, the third stage. The third stage is now you have to heal your body. It is so important. So many chemicals have been released in your body in the past however many days. Your body has taken a beating. Your appetite might have been affected. Your sleep might have been affected. A lot of your circadian rhythms, I don't know. Basically the entire system, your body functions, they all get disrupted when you hit with an uncertainty, with a shock. Okay, so now is the time to take your body back to balance. Now for some people it can be sleeping. Like for me, sleeping is my therapy. If I'm ever in any sort of like I said, now I know like what's happening with me. Earlier I used to call it the word that I don't use anymore. So okay, for reference I can say that the word generally most people use is anxiety, but I don't use this word anymore for myself. I can call, I use words like, yes, this is giving me some concerns, yes, this is causing me some worry, but I don't use the A word anymore now. So earlier, so now when, like I said, something that gives, that's a reason for a concern to me, I like to sleep over it. That's my way of recovering, okay? For some people, it can be going out in the nature. For some people, it can be, eating more fruits, eating, like taking care of their diet, whatever it takes for you to heal your body after this shock absorption, you've got to do it. Okay, and this goes in this sequence only. So if somebody who's having an emotional reaction to the shock, and you suddenly, you can't ask that person to sleep, because that person won't be able to sleep until and unless that person has gone through the second stage of asking questions, and now that person has some answers. Only then will you be able to sleep, or like go out in the nature. So this is the sequence, and it has to be followed this way. You getting me, guys? Okay, I have been rambling on for, I think, quite some time. Let me see what you all are saying. I said this is going to be a long one. Oh, you loved the word yes. I don't use. If you've seen one of my reels, I spoke about a few words that I don't use any longer. There I discussed about 3 such concepts. But now that I'm actually understanding the power of words over us, I am so very cautious of the words that I use for myself, and also the words I use for my clients. And because words have power, and this A word, I don't like to use it. I don't. It, like I said, it's a cause of concern. It's a cause of a concern. It's a cause for concern. It causes some concern, to me or for me or in my life, or it's a cause of a worry to me. I like to use such words rather than, oh, it's giving me this, it's making me, and another word that most people use very often is the D word, the depressed word. I don't use that word. I'm like, yes, I'm feeling a little low today. I'm not at the best of my, I'm not in the best of my moods. I'm not that chirpy that I generally am. I'll use such phrases for myself, but I'll never use the D word. Or maybe I'm just feeling a little low today. I'm feeling a little sad today. I use such words or such phrases, but never the D word and the A word. Chalo, let's move forward. Okay, so first of all, you have to heal the emotional body, then you have to heal your nervous system, and then you have to heal your body, your physical body. Okay, so 3 stages when an uncertainty hits you. Okay, next part, where I would like to speak about how do you do the second part of the second phase of the 3 stages. That is, how do you take control of your nervous system. Okay, that is what I'd like to speak about now. Yeah. Chalo, let's just speak. Let's just get through with this workshop and then we can chat. Okay. So, like I said, get down to thinking. Okay, why do you have to get down to thinking? See, so far when you're like dealing with your emotions, your logical brain, the thinking brain, either generally is very active. It's as if it's like thinking of all the things that can go wrong, all the things that have gone wrong, all the things that you've lost. Like, it's all negative. And that is why you're having that emotional charge, because the thoughts are all of one kind, and that kind is very pessimistic. Okay, So when you take hold of your nervous system, you have got to see, you have got to, क्या बोलते हैं, direct light towards something that's going to give you hope and that's going to help you come out of it. Okay, so now we get down to thinking, we get down to using our logical brain. Okay, so what do? We get down to data. We get down to data analysis. Okay, like I said, the engineer in me always will use such concepts, and that's how I help my clients, because if you come to think of it, I sometimes feel that I don't know. I mean, everything is so beautifully structured around us, and like nature in itself is so beautifully structured, and there are laws and there are rules. Sometimes I just feel that, what a masterpiece of engineering this is, So I don't know. That's my personal opinion. But yes, so if you want to come out of something such I would say, what's the word I'm looking for? Something that is not so tangible, something that is so fluidic, like you can't see, not even fluid, like something that is not tangible, like you can't see all of whatever is happening in your system, but it's causing so much trouble to you. Now, how do you do something tangible, like something that you can see? How do you do something tangible to help you come out of this state of, I'm not getting the right word, the state of void? No, not even void. The state of dilemma, the state of discomfort. Yeah, how do you come out of the state of discomfort to a state of comfort first, and then, start your journey towards you thriving in the future and learning. Okay, so if you see me today, my the way I am speaking with you all, I am so much more better than how I spoke with you all, when I updated you guys about what had happened, right? It's because of these stages, because I knew how to go through them. I have done the work. Okay, I've learned, I've journaled on it, and now I see light. I see light in the future. Okay, I have directed that light in the future. So how do you now do it? Okay, so like I said, this stage, if in one word I have to call it, it's like get down, in one sentence, get down to data. Okay, now what is that data? I'm going to give you a few examples here, and like I said, I'll be making a document, a PDF, not a document, a workbook. Usme aur hoga, but just for reference and to help you start this process for yourself if you are in one. First data is your resources. Okay, the very first data that you have to get down to is your resources. Now, for somebody who's lost his job, okay, his or her job, what would be your resource? The number one resource that will come to your mind would be, of course, your monetary, your income, right? So you get down to that data. Do you have any reserves? How long can you go? What are your bills that need to be paid? How much are they? Like, where can you cut down so that you can stretch maybe a month or 2 or 3, this date. So taking stock of your data brings you out of a state of hurry. Okay, now for some people, you might not have those many resources and you really have to hurry. Okay, then the following questions will help you. But this is such a crucial, like before anything else that you do, anything else, take a stock of your resources. Okay, now for somebody like me, let's take this example of after this thing happened with me. my number one resource was that how many people do I have access to? Like how many people do I have direct access to? Okay, I've lost my close to, so by the time this happened, we were close to 5K on that platform. So I lost access to all those 5K, but there are a few with whom I had direct access. Okay, so how many of those clients do I have direct access to? Okay, so that was like my number one resource that I wanted to go to. Okay, I really, by God's grace, I don't have to think of my bills getting paid. My husband takes care of, touch wood, I'm so blessed that I have that liberty in my life, and I feel abundant that way, is that I don't have to worry about bills getting paid. Okay, so my resource that I have with me, the biggest resource that I have with me is time. Okay, I have time as my resource. Okay, what I did there, can I do it again? Yes, I can, because I have time. Like I said, there's no hurry in my life. Okay, similarly, for different people, for different situations, for different uncertainties that have hit you, there would be different resources. Okay, for some people to whom some personal level things have happened, their resource would be different. Okay, but there has to be a data around it. Okay, like I said, for some people who had some personal, like somebody lost someone, then the immediate thing that they have to think about is their family. Okay, and like how do you, so that's not a tangible resource, but it is a resource that you have to take care of. Like who can help you in this situation, like emotionally, with whom can you speak about such things? So that's a resource. That is a resource to you if you come to think of it. Your dear friends, your family friends, your relatives. So get down to your resources. Okay, the second step is, what have you lost? Okay, just have a picture of that. What have you lost? Have a picture of it. Take it in. Next step, can you replace this? Okay, next question, what are your options? Okay, what are your options? Like if you remember, yesterday I asked you all in my story, guys, give me suggestions. I'm in a limbo, give me suggestions. Why I asked you suggestions? Because I wanted to know my options. Because when somebody is going through a phase, they can't see the full picture, because they're like in it, they're dealing with it. Like I said, they're dealing with the emotional part of it, they're dealing with so much, so they can't see the full picture. It's people whom they can trust. They can ask them, and they can ask them for suggestions. Guys, help me see my options. And so many of you send me your suggestions, and I'm so thankful. Okay, you guys have literally helped me. So now get to the options. Okay, the fourth, our suggestions. Okay, now you see the fifth part. Can you come out of it yourself? Like, do you have it in you to come out of it yourself, or would you need help from others? This is so important. Guys, when you're in such situations, please don't shy away from taking help. Never shy away from, because today you'll take help from somebody, tomorrow you will help somebody, because you know the importance of how somebody helping you changed your life, and you'll be like 10 times more ready to help someone else. So when we ask for help, don't think you're doing it for yourself. No, think that you're doing it, you're opening this loop to extend help to someone else, because when like I said, you'll take help, you'll see how it helped you, how it changed your life. You'll be like 10 times faster and eager to help someone else. Okay, so you're creating a loop of kindness, of helping each other. Okay, so take stock, like, can you come out of it yourself, or do you need help? So these are a few questions, okay, to think about. There are a lot more such questions in this phase of how do you handle your nervous system, okay? And I'm, like I said, I am creating a workbook, and I will give you that workbook. But for starters and for starting, use this framework, okay? And then come up with your questions as well, and you can share those questions with me. Like we can collaborate on this. Oh yes, I just got an idea, guys, why don't we collaborate on this? Send me your suggestions, send me your questions of how do we, like I said, train or heal our nervous system. What all questions can we keep on adding? So I've given you, I think, 5. So let's take it to 20, let's take it to 15. Wow, let's do that. If any one of you, you've like watched me so far and you like hearing this right now, I invite you to send me your suggestions that I can include in my workbook. Okay, great. Okay, now you've gathered. अभी यहाँ तक का मैं लेके चल रही हूँ कि ठीक है, by now you have your options, okay? Now, so what do? So now we do something which is called avoiding future tripping. Okay, what's that? So avoiding future tripping is you come up with your next 2 moves, just your next 2 moves. Okay, what needs to be done immediately and what needs to be done next, like the first and the second step. That is it. We're not thinking way forward in the future. No, we're just avoiding future tripping and we just like one step, and what's the next step? That's how you create balance when you walk, right? You need 2 steps, the first step, the second step. So we're trying to avoid future tripping by just trying to find out these first 2 steps, okay, the first and the second. I'll give you my example so that you'll better understand this. So when I asked you guys of the suggestions, like some of you like told me why don't I make, like a dear friend of mine, she told me, why don't you make this your main channel wherein you speak about everything? Yes, that is a beautiful suggestion, and I am thinking on those lines. But from my experience, from the past experience, it's like once bitten, twice shy kind of a thing. I'm like, what if, girl, if you're watching it so far, I'm talking about you. I'm like, what if I lose this one fine day? Then again, I've lost everything, right? Don't you think? So I'm thinking on those lines. Another dear friend sent in that, you start posting such things in small snippets, bite-sized pieces. That's a beautiful suggestion. One suggestion I got was, why don't you create a website? And that is something like 7 years I don't have a website. And then I was like, so what my dear friend, she told me, why don't you make this like your one spot? And what this new suggestion is like, okay, create a website. Now can I join them, so creating a website will give me an autonomy. I don't depend on social media anymore. Like I do depend on social media, but I have my own people in my own circle as well, and that is like autonomous, and I can somehow link all of it. So like, are you getting the gist of it? Like when you have so many options, you can like mix and match and come out with the first 2 that you want to go ahead with, right? So we've got to do that. Okay, we've got to avoid future tripping. Now, once you have those options, once you have figured out the next 2 steps, here comes another one. And that is, now you see, do you need skills? Do you need some added skills? Can you go on with the same skill set? Do you need something to add on to your profile? Do you need to delegate something someplace? Now you get into the later part of strategy, okay? So far, you've got your options, you've got your first 2 steps, you've got figured out what skills you have. Do you need to add on to your skill set? you do all of that analysis, you come up with a strategy for yourself, okay, and you start implementing now. So now what you're seeing this live for me is me implementing what all I had gone through over the last 10 days. Now, for some people, like for me, it took 10 days to come out of this uncertainty. For some people, it can be longer because most people, they are in the emotional stage for very long, even months together. But since now you know this framework, I hope this will help you. I hope this will help you, not to, like I said, be in the emotional stage for long. Okay, be there as much as you need for releasing the shock, but get down to your handling your nervous system as fast as possibly you can. Okay, I've shared so much today, and I think this is like a lot. I think you won't even be able to grasp it in one watch. You'll have to like watch it over and over again. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it for you to watch it. Do share your feedback. Okay, do share your feedback. I don't know how long it is. If it is like longer, I don't know, will Instagram let me post it here? Then if not, then I'll post it on YouTube maybe, and I'll leave it for you all to watch it. Okay. Yes, I'm out of breath. I've been speaking non-stop. Anyway, guys, I won't like to hold you longer here. Let me know what you think of this live. Send me your DMs, even if it's on YouTube. Please do send me your DMs on Instagram. And yeah, I'm so happy to have so many of you here. Pleasure. It was a pleasure talking to you all. And you can expect some work around overcoming uncertainty from my end. And the usual that I post. Okay, thank you so much. It was pleasure talking to you all. Take care, and yeah, have a blast, and keep smiling, keep growing, and be kind. Always be kind to yourself and to others. Take care till we meet next. Bye bye.